we go. Got it? Yes, sir. I'll look at it. Thank you.
I want to thank Diane.
Thank you so much. Your angels. I really appreciate it.
Unstinting commitment to chair the board of our Health Exchange here in the District of Columbia. And frankly, what a great team they have been to be able to take these uncharted waters and be able to start to figure out how we navigate our way through them. I was proud to be able to do the legislation back at the end of 2011 through the council approved it, but that's just the beginning. Diane and Mila were the ones who had to make it work, and boy, have they made it work. We were one of 4 state-based agencies, exchanges, I guess, that really were off and running last October. And I don't have any reservations in saying that I'm absolutely convinced that we are the best in the nation. We are the best state exchange. I've seen some of those that have talked about being good, and I've watched them crash. But there really have been, we've had a glitch here and a glitch there, but nothing of any significance. This has been a smooth process in what is probably the most complicated endeavor that we've undertaken in this nation, and certainly in this city. So we ought to be mighty proud of where we are. And I ask you to give these 2 ladies off to my left a big hand for the work that they've done. You know, this can be made as complicated as we want to, but isn't what it's fundamentally about, and I commend the President for his tenacity, his courage in doing this, isn't it fundamentally about trying to make America as healthy as we possibly can? When people sit around and wring their hands and pray and do other things to try to make sure that they don't get sick, sometimes, a lot of times, prayer does work, but that shouldn't be the only weapon we have in terms of people being able to stay healthy. Preventive health is one of the most important things in which we can engage. And that people's only weapon, frankly, is to be able to try to figure out how to kill off illness in the first place, and then when you get sick, to hope it goes away quick. That's not healthcare, ladies and gentlemen. And we can do better than that, and that's exactly what the Affordable Care Act is about. I fear what may be around the corner after the middle of January, with the efforts on the part of some people to try to roll back this legislation. That would be a huge mistake, ladies and gentlemen. There undoubtedly are ways that we can make something as complicated as this better. But anybody who wants to start all over again has made a really foolish mistake, because we are on a path now to be able to have health care coverage available to every American, certainly every resident of the District of Columbia. And we ought to be proud with where we are at this point. We now have 660,000 people who live in the District of Columbia with the work of the Health Exchange. We have, we probably have 94, 95% of our adults who are covered. Certainly no less than the second best in the nation. And we are the best when it comes to children. We have, I think, 97% of our children who are covered. And that is something we should be very proud of. We should be spending our time not on trying to fend off those who would roll back progress. We should be spending our time to get people covered, just like we are doing on the other end of the King Library today, but then helping people figure out how most effectively to be able to use that coverage. We need to be continuing to build the most effective primary care health system we can build in the District of Columbia. Because it's one thing to have coverage, it's another thing to be able to use that coverage to the best advantage of you and your family. And that's exactly what we should be spending our time on, ladies and gentlemen. We are building new clinics in the District of Columbia. We have opened 3 since 2008, one in Anacostia, to replace the Duffy Street Clinic. Another one down on South Capitol Street, and yet another in Parkside, which replaced another outdated clinic. But we also need to get people to the point where they effectively use those services. That going to a doctor becomes a routine part of people's everyday life. That recognizing that if we engage in prevention, and nobody would argue with prevention. I don't know anybody would make an argument that we shouldn't engage in prevention. That would just be mindless, wouldn't it? But after the argument is made, then you got people who still don't do it. And frankly, that's what we should be spending our time on. Not worrying about whether the legislation is going to get rolled back, but worrying about how we get more people enrolled, and then once they get enrolled, making sure we have the services here in our city, whether on the west end of the District of Columbia or on the east end, where we have had major gaps in health care. Making sure we continue to reduce the infant mortality rate in the District of Columbia, which is now down to 6.6, and our goal is by 2020 to have it down to 5. Continuing to be able to combat HIV, AIDS in the District of Columbia, get people getting the treatment and health care early. If they engage in preventive efforts, and even if they contract the virus, getting into health care early puts people in a position to live a quality of life just like anybody else. Ladies and gentlemen, our goal should be to make sure that every one of our 660,000 people has insurance, whether it be Medicaid or commercial insurance, or it be the Alliance, whatever the case may be, make sure everybody has health insurance in the District of Columbia, that they understand how to use it, and that we have the services available to them to be able to use it. That should be our goal. So we can stand up one day and say, you know what? Everybody in the District of Columbia is covered. They understand what prevention is, and they are going out and using the health care services that we now have all across the District of Columbia. So thank you all for being here. Those of you who haven't enrolled, go out there and enroll. If you're already enrolled, go out there in the street, grab the first person you see, and ask them, do they have health care insurance? And if they don't, drag them right into this library. Thank you all very much.
One more time, give it up for the band, give it up for the band. Once again, I go by the name of Latin President Waste PGC 95.5, and just to let you know, I am a success story of DC HealthLink. Because of last year, I was able to enroll, I got my health cards, so I just want to let you know it's possible. If you don't have insurance, please take advantage. Does anybody drive? Anybody cars? Got cars? Okay. If I told you you could possibly get free insurance for your car, you run over there right now, right? Exactly. So I want you to do the same thing for your body. Make sure you run over there. If you don't have health insurance, make sure that you go over there and see what you can get, man. It could be for free. It could be something discounted. Just like your car, take care of your body, alright? So y'all give it up for the man one more time, man. He's a big advocate. The DC HealthLink will be possible. Next coming to the stage, we have the President and CEO of the DC Chambers of Commerce. Y'all give it up for Harry Wingo.
Thank you. My name is Harry Wingo. I'm President and CEO of the DC Chamber of Commerce. I just got started in April, stepping in very big shoes for Harper Lang. She grew the chamber over 12 years. The DC Chamber is 75 years proud, 75 years old. We started out as the Negro Chamber of Commerce here in DC. Yeah, that's right. And I'm from DC originally. And what I'd like to say is let's give another round of applause for our mayor for what he's done. Make sure we all have health care. Also, I'd like to commend Diane Lewis, board chair, and of course Mila Kaufman for her work with DC HealthLink and DC Health Benefits Exchange, and Joy Max for the DC Public Library. And what I'd like to underscore is if you're a business, we want to work with you to understand how important it is to get signed up. So it's exciting to be here today. Folks have a chance to sign up and participate in this great benefit that we have here. And as the mayor said, we've got phenomenal numbers here in our nation's capital, at our home, because of all the benefits that are here with this system. And I'm a small business. We're right around the corner. So the DC Chamber of Commerce, we are actually members of the exchange, and we've saved 30%. So I'm excited about it. Also, we have employee choice. So my folks were able to choose, and they saw the benefits of signing up for this system. And so we're excited about that. And I just want to again say thank you to each of you for coming out to get some knowledge about this system. As the mayor said, go grab the next person you see today. Tell them they need to get down here to the library and sign up for DC HealthLink. So again, God bless. And on behalf of the DC Chamber of Commerce, I want to thank everybody. Again, Mayor Gray, thank you so much. And get signed up if you're not. Thank you.